G'day, Trish Jenkins here, and this message is for the middle-aged men out there, many of whom I love. I'm married to one of you, and I want to address this issue of depression. So last week, this was motivated because last week I interviewed Ramon Ray, who is just a brilliant support for small businesses, and he's kicking some massive goals. And he shared quite vulnerably about a time when he actually suffered depression as an older man with grown children, and what that meant, and how he lifted himself up out of it. And it's created a burden in my heart. This last week, I've been thinking about this and thinking of times where there can be men out there who are just struggling and showing up and doing what needs to be done, and you're hanging in there, and you sometimes feel you're just feeling hollow, like you're just turning up, doing what needs to be done, providing, shelling out for the things that are on, but your zest is gone, and you feel angry for no reason. I know with fellas, often the only acceptable emotions you're allowed to display growing up have been anger and frustration because they're masculine. Well, they're not. They're just an expression of fear. And you need to be able to take care of your feelings, it's true, and get some good mental health. Now, I know there is clinical depression, so there is that. And then there's those times when you just feel empty. You just feel like you're trapped, that you're just going through. You might have a hugely successful business that you're tied to because there are people who depend on you and your company for their wages. And that's a burden. That's a hard thing to keep going. And if you've lost your mojo, you've lost your zest and your energy and your vision, you could just be, even though you might go to a gym, you could just be feeling worn out. But I want to tell you that the strongest prison bars really are in your head. You know, women suffer depression too. Every demographic does. But for now, I want to address the men in my life who I just love. I don't do the battle of the sexes thing. You know, I've had great men in my life. I've had some mongrels too. But everyone is an individual. But as a man, you can feel this burden and this heaviness. And I just want to connect with you. And I had some notes to help me with this, because I know there would be people who jump on and say, well, why are you only talking to men? Look, I talk to women as well. But this is what was on my heart from that interview that I did with Ramon, and it hasn't left me. And tomorrow, I don't know when you'll be watching this, but there will be another interview with a fellow called Ari Schonbrun, who is a 9/11 survivor. He was in Tower 1. And I'm going to talk to him about how he coped and his mental health through that situation and recovery from that. So you might want to stick around or look for that interview as well. It'll be on my YouTube and on my website and so on. But here's the thing. You might feel listless. You might feel passive resistance to things that are going on. You know, you're not turning up for the working bee, or you turn up and it's like, oh, you know, it's just that you're in that funk. But when you're ready to be who you are again, there's a couple of things I'd like to encourage you with. Look, if you need, get your levels checked. Go to the doctor. Get your testosterone. Get your all whatever those things are that they check, to make sure there isn't any underlying physical issues going on that can happen around that age, and deal with. And you know, clinical depression medication can help. It's not a weakness. It's just a help to balance up what's going on in you. I'm not a psychiatrist, but I do know something about what goes on in here in our thought life, and there are things that you can master. Number one is that you don't have to agree with what's going on in here. There are lies that go on in our head that we can tell ourselves, or that fly in there, and we just, because we feel an agreement with it, we think it's true. I'm telling, look at me, look at me, look in my eyes. They're lies. They're not true. They're lies. You are precious and valuable, not because of what you do. Your do is not your who. You are valuable because you are a human being. You are a man of worth, of dignity, just because you are. And somebody loves you, and you matter. You have that human dignity. You have a purpose for your life. If you can allow yourself to question those lies going on in your head, then that's the first step to opening that door to thinking perhaps differently about your life and where you're going. You know, Ramon shared about how he was doing all the right things, he was turning up where he was supposed to, and yet he even felt suicidal. That is one massive, deceitful lie that may try and visit you. But you've got to recognize it's a lie and catch it early and get some help. Call your mates. You know, there's an exercise called HALT, H-A-L-T. Ask yourself, are you hungry, angry, lonely, tired, or even bored? That's the feeling down stuff. Is it all too much? Have you taken on too much and you think you've got to hero your way through it? You don't. And you don't have to fall in a heap like a baby and get, you know, and have someone, oh, I need someone to rescue me. And you don't have to get to that point. You can talk to your mates. If one of your mates was depressed, you'd be quite okay with them calling you and saying, mate, I'm feeling a bit down. You want to go fishing? Can we do something? Can we just do something? You don't have to talk in depth about your feelies, but just do something that makes you feel good. Laughter. Laughter is not childish. It's not undignified. It's a healthy thing to do. Not the cynical laughter of mockery at someone's expense, but genuine laughter. And if you can't find anything to laugh at, Google funny babies. I caught Justin doing that the other day when I went upstairs, and we just sat there for half an hour watching these funny babies laugh and just laughed our heads off. It's healthy. Laughter is medicine. Look, there are lots of strategies that you Google them. There's strategies out there. But the number one thing is it starts here. You don't have to believe what's going on in here. You matter. You cared about. You are loved. And I'm right here. You can contact me through my website. You can, look, I'm supposed to put this thing up with every video. Like and subscribe. There's more to come. All that stuff. But stay in touch and be encouraged, because you matter. You have value and you are cared about. And thank you, Cindy. I see you. Haven't got any fellas commenting on this yet, but hopefully they will. You don't have to, but reach out and get some help, because you can get your mojo back. I did. You know, I had someone tell me, oh, it's all right for you. You've never been depressed. And I said, I spent 8 months in a prison cell. I think I know a little bit about isolation, depression, feeling unworthy, not feeling like my life is over. That's got nothing to do with being a male or a female. But this middle-aged stuff, you don't want to turn into that grumpy old man. No, they're no fun. They're not happy. And then eventually they end up on their own and no one comes to visit them in the old folks' home. So what relationships are you building now? Don't just rely on your wife. Who have you got? Who are your friends? Do some volunteering, socialise, get connected again, because you've got gifts and talents that the world needs. And I don't mean just for work and service. I mean, when you're connected, it's healthy. And when you serve someone else, when you volunteer, when you do a working bee at a school, when you're all dirty and grubby and you have a cup of tea with all these other people that have all pitched in and done something to help some sort of cause, it's a good feeling. It lifts your levels. It lifts your hormone levels. It actually serves you. Come on, guys, we need you. You can get up again. Get up out of that funk. I'm right here waiting for you to give you a clap, because you're just great. And you're loved and you're cared about. Get your mojo on. We need to work together. All right, bless you heaps. And I suppose I better finish off with my promo video. So that's kind of a behind the scenes bit of talk with the stuff about resilience. That's how you build resilience. Recognizing this, lifting yourself up, getting help from other people. So we'll finish up with that. And by the way, I am going to do another one of these for my Christian middle-aged men. I see you, and I know, don't point, Trish, it's rude. Because I know you suffer some of these things too. I'm going to do a video specifically for you fellas as well. That'll be on my other YouTube. So anyway, that'll be that, and catch you next time. The strongest prison bars are in your head. Leaders and teams, it's time for a jailbreak.